Hey everybody. So this one's going to be a quick one. A lot has changed in the neon plant since the last episode. Um, let's start with this. Process tubes. Okay. So what have I done? Well, let's come over here and just see what we've done. So guys, this is one of the things that's changed. So that's a floor mat I didn't even know I needed to have. It's a rhino mat. It's called a switchboard mat. Keeps me not grounded, floating, right? So anyway, I've got this guy installed now. I've got the transformer there. I did clean off the top of it, but the paint is just, it looks horrible. So it looks like it's dirty, but it's actually not. And the porcelain is faded, so it looks dirty, but it's clean. Needed to put that out there. Anyway, so that right there, yes, I'm still not finished with it. I'm going to replace that electric box still, but that's a 24 volt AC transformer. Comes on up here, goes into a box that I've got right back there that runs two contactors, AC contactors, so they're HVAC contactors, 24 volts. That engages two of them in series so that if one of them hangs, the other one can still back off. Breaker box right there, everything's here. And it goes through this button here. So essentially, for those of you that don't know, 24 volt AC is done for air conditioning control. Sorry, I'm messing my gimbal up. Air conditioner control, and for things like your doorbell. Your doorbell in your home is 24 volts. So essentially, this button right now is a doorbell. But a doorbell that makes a lot of big electricity. When the system's on, let me turn this gimbal here. When the system's on, you've got one light that comes on. I'm not going to hit the other light anymore because the transformer is actually hooked up and live. So when that's active, that first light comes on. When I push the button and I'm actually bombarding, the top light comes on as well. We're not going to mess with that right now. So anyway, we've got everything grounded. All the tables are grounded. Everything's grounded during earth ground. I've got an 8-foot copper rod right outside that garage door, and I've got a grounding bus. Everything is earth grounded because I don't want to die. I've also got this guy. Long piece of glass that I put electrical tape on each end for like a handle. Why? For this right here, to push this button, right? I want to have no business with any of this stuff when I'm pushing this button. That's a lot of volts and amps. It's like 15,000 volts, like up to an amp or maybe 2 amps, something like that, depending on where I've got the slide pulled out right there. You ask why I have this piece of wood here? We're making this super quick because some people don't like long videos, but this wood is for this slide. When I kick that transformer off, the coils in there create a magnet, essentially. So when I kick this thing on, it tries to slide it back in. So what I have learned from some of the ideas from where my uncle was when he was doing it, one piece of board in there is the primary, heat up the glass, get it ready to go. And when you're starting to clean your electrodes, you stick that guy in there. So now you've got that, and now you've got your power for doing your electrodes. Now, are there better ways of doing it? Absolutely. This is sketch 2, right? My wife loves this. This is what my uncle had, though. I don't know if I'm going to keep this power rail, but your cables are here and they'll slide. Okay, so I can move my connection anywhere on this table, depending on what my glass is, whatever. So that's where we're at. I've processed a couple of pieces of glass now. They're not great. I know that my Senko Megavac is not enough vacuum. I seem to remember my uncle complaining about not having enough vacuum at one point, or not good enough vacuum pump. It's working for what I'm doing, but for quality neon down the road, I'm gonna have to find a better vacuum pump. I'm looking for like a Welch. I want a 13. I think it's a 1376. But I'm probably going to end up with a Welch 1402. Look those up. If you want to send me one, go for it. I'll test it out. They're like, it's like $5,000 new. $5,000 for a vacuum pump. I'm probably going to have to buy a used one, and maybe rebuild it, whatever, get it sent off to reman, whatever. There's no way I can afford $5,000 for a vacuum pump, or even talk my wife into it when I have a vacuum pump, even though it's not pulling down fast enough. They want neon to be down to 5 microns. I can get this guy down easily to about 18. And I was at 18 when I processed these tubes over here. Now, what I've noticed, because I know some of you diehard neon guys are gonna be like, you can't do neon at 18. And I agree, you can't do neon at 18. Because what I've noticed is the neon actually, so neon's supposed to be cool to the touch when you touch the glass. This one's not. The transformers get kind of warm too. And I suspect that's because the impurities in the glass is creating a lot of extra resistance, which is making the transformer work harder. And the impurities that I wasn't able to vacuum all the way out are what's creating the heat. If I want to spend and wait a long time, I did just pump my manifold down, and I got 0 micron. I went all the way to 0. It took like 2 hours. It's not feasible when pumping glass, but I think I can get it down to 10 feasibly, and not get in a rush. But I need a better vacuum pump. I already know that. So that's it. My project now, I don't remember what episode this is, so I'll figure it out when I do the YouTube video and post it and all that stuff. But that's where we're at. I'm going to do another video of processing to see what one of them does. I kind of want to play around with a project. I've got some pattern stuff that I'm trying to work on. I need help with patterns. Any of y'all are there programs? I think there's one program, but I emailed the place. I didn't get any response back. I don't even know if it's still a program, right? It's like Neon Wizard 6.5. I don't even know if the business is still in business, right? Neon's kind of a thing that's, I think's making a resurgence. It's coming back, but it's going to take a little bit, and it's never going to come back to the way it was in the 60s and 70s and things like that. Hell, even the 90s and early 2000s. That's where we're at. I'm playing around with the pattern now. I'm going to try to bend something and actually build a sign by Wednesday or Tuesday night, actually. Tonight, it's Sunday. It is 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. I will probably be out here for a few more hours. Step away from bending and welding for a week and a half, and it was like I didn't know what I was doing again. Still don't know what I'm doing, but you get the point. I'm gonna try with this pattern. I can't show you the pattern because it's kind of something I want to do. I mean, I can tell you, it's not a secret. It won't be a secret when I do it. So, all right, I'm gonna make that idea. I'm gonna do it. I want to build a 2025 sign using, I'm going to put it on one of my old bar signs frames because the bar sign's gone. All the glass is broken off of it, whatever. So I'm just going to use the frame. What I want to do is put a 2025 on it. by Tuesday night. So if there's any of y'all in Oklahoma, North Texas, whatever, wants to come up here and help me try to do this, by Tuesday night, I'll buy the beer. Anyway, I want to put it on an Amazon Alexa that turns on one of those little smart plugs that turns it on at midnight. So you got the sign hanging up there in the garage where we all party and do this, and the whole family's going to be there. And then somebody says, Happy New Year, and the light comes on. Why not, right? That's what I want to do. I don't think it's going to happen. So maybe I should just write this as 2026. I've already processed straight tubes. So any of my sign guys here in town, if you need a straight tube, I'm your guy. Don't ask me to turn it, bend it, whatever, but I can put pieces of glass together and I can put electrodes on it. And I can do a double back-ish. So I'm practicing double backs on 15 mil. They're kind of hard. I also put a piece of glass together. Let's do this real quick. My uncle has this thing. It's a sign flasher. He's always flashed his neon for 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever. I'm not seeing any color change because when I process this, I feel like I processed the hell out of it. And because I don't have a temperature thermometer, I don't have an amp meter, milliamp meter, or anything when I'm processing. I'm doing it the way my uncle did. I'm going to get those things. So if y'all have some for sale, whatever, let me know. But I also found that guy right there on the double back right there. You can't see it in the video. Darn. That's green with neon gas because I haven't messed with argon yet. I put a bunch of different colors together to see what they look like. They're all pretty much red when you do the neon gas. Purple came out pink. Blue came out pink, just a little bit lighter pink. Snow White came out, a frosty red. But y'all, Oklahoma, OU Sooner fan, green turned out OSU orange. And then there's a drink sign down there that my uncle already had. It looks like he fixed it. I see where he fixed it now that I lit it up. And I've just got it on this little sign. He flashed it. It's got a little, transformer over there. The burn-in's really not doing anything because it's a 30 milliamp transformer. So I'm also in the market for a 60 milliamp transformer if any of y'all have access to one of those for a decent price. Remember, I'm not doing this for money, signs, whatever. I'm actually trying to just do this to continue doing what my uncle was doing because I thought it was neat. So I don't want to sound like an, ungrateful or anything, but if you come and find a neon sign or a transformer and say, I've got a 60 milliamp transformer, I'm going to sell it to you for $500, you're going to keep the transformer. I don't have $500 for a transformer. Same with the meters and things like that. And if you have a Welch pump that you've got a good price on and it's going to do better than my Megavac, let me know. But if you're going to come and tell me it's $2,000, you're going to have to sell it somewhere else. I can't do that. Not at this point in what I'm doing. I did have an idea of maybe selling some of these old bar signs that my uncle had and using that money to buy some more stuff, but I really want to put the bar signs up in my shop. So anyway, that's it. Y'all have a fantastic evening. Episode 6, 7, 8, whatever episode this is. I think it's 7 actually. I guess we're done. He did have a switch over here too on this light. It's sketch. I don't even want to show you guys this switch, but you can turn that off and turn on. hold on. There's another switch. There's two switches on there. So one will power it all together as just one, just constant on. And then if you turn that switch off and turn the other switch on, there's a sign flasher back there. And it's an old flasher, I guess. It's just an electric motor with a flywheel on it that just sits there and spins and spins and spins. That's why I had to, when I turned that switch off, I had to find that spot right there. Nope. Right there where it's not running. It's in between it's running. Because when I turn the other switch on to do what I'm wanting to do, it backfeeds the thing. And then every time it engages, it's just feeding the power with power. So that's it. I don't know if flashing's good, flashing's bad, whatever. It's just what my uncle did. But it's fun having lights in here right now is really all it is. That's the only reason I'm doing it. And the only reason I'm flashing it right now is I'm thinking it's cool, right? That's why some of us do this stuff, right? Because it's cool. Anyway, I need a 60 milliamp transformer to do this right. But I don't think I need to burn it in anyway because they were already the right color. All right, y'all have a good evening. Until next time. And the next one, we're going to process a tube.